take a walk on the woo-woo side with me. My name is Michelle Douglas and I am on a mission to help you to step into your power so that you can create the life you desire. Visit me at empoweredlifeprograms.com to learn more. Hello and welcome back and happy Tuesday. So today we're going to be addressing the whole, why do I keep ending up in toxic relationships? So I know if you're like anyone, you want to have that loving relationship where you feel cared for, you feel cherished and adored by the man who just has swept you off your feet and life is amazing. And then you look at your reality and you've got this toxic guy in front of you and he could be quite mean. It could be that you fight a lot. It could be that there are other issues going on that you know aren't good for you and good for your emotional, mental, physical health. You know, it could even be abusive and things like that. And it's just like, well, how do you keep ending up in this situation? And you may have been doing research and looking online and joining Facebook groups to ask, you know, what do I do? I got this toxic guy here and they're just telling you to run, and you've done that and you ended up with someone the same, and you find yourself in this never-ending cycle of single, meet a guy, he's toxic, you're single again, meet a guy, he's toxic. Okay, now this happens a lot, a hell of a lot. And the reason why you keep ending up in these toxic relationships is simply because you're in vibrational alignment with having a toxic relationship. Now, before you get all upset and angry with me, this is actually a good thing, because what it means is that you now have control. And it does mean that you can actually shift vibrationally to make yourself not in alignment with this toxic relationship so that you don't attract them again. So this is the thing. So your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions in particular contribute to this vibrational alignment. And yes, there's this energetic element as well that can be worked through without energy work, so to speak. It does take a little bit longer because energy work kind of clears the path a little more quickly than if you were actually going to just go forward with your thoughts, emotions, and actions and go with that. But here's the thing, your thoughts, emotions, and actions need to align with what you want, not with what you have. Okay, so you're at point A. Point A is where you're at now, and this is where your toxic relationship is, okay? You want to get to point B, which is where the loving, caring man is, where he adores you and cherishes you and wines and dines you and just makes you feel, or no one can make you feel anything, but you feel really, really happy and content in his presence. And even when he's not around you, you just feel happy and like you're home, okay? So what you need to do in order to step out of this vibrational alignment with point A is to start thinking differently, feeling differently, and doing differently. And the first step is your thoughts. So if you're constantly thinking, he's an asshole and he's doing this, he's doing that, and I'm focused 100% on my current reality, which I don't like, you're creating a vibrational frequency that aligns with point A. And unless you start thinking, okay, well, what do I want? Oh, I want this wonderful relationship that looks like this. And the easiest way to get your thoughts really clear about what point B looks like is to start writing it down. Like, what does point B look like? What is a day in the life of you going to look like once you've reached point B with this amazing man that adores you? So write that down. Get a journal, write it down, and you can change it later, but just get it written down. Then your emotions come into it. So when you're currently thinking about your present, you are it's an emotionally charged thought that you're thinking about, right? Because when you're in a toxic relationship, and yes, I have been in several, it makes you just feel tense and yuck and ugh, right? What's the word? It overpowers you to some extent. So it's really difficult, I know, when you're down in the well to see anything but the sides of the well. Like looking up at the top there, you've got to turn your head right up, and that's really hard. But this is really important. So it's really like get your stuff written down and feel the feelings associated with it already done. I'm in that relationship that's got the beautiful, adoring man. What does that feel like? What does a day in the life of that version of me feel like? And then with your actions, now this is a good one because I think it works really well, is to pretend you're with that amazing man already and you're living life as if he has already appeared in your life. So if you've got a toxic guy in front of you, pretend a miracle happened while you were asleep. And when you woke up, ta-da, he's the perfect man all of a sudden, and act as if, and just see what happens. Start observing how different you become when you are with pretend point B compared to point A. Because if you're in point A, you tend to be quite down on yourself, right? You're basically a shell of yourself. And I know this because I've been there. So you become this shell. But when you're with your loving, adoring man who loves you exactly as you are, you become a bigger, more beautiful version of yourself. So if you can start being that version of you now, you will shift your vibrational alignment to be closer to point B. Now, I will warn you that when you start your little trip from point A to point B, you're no longer at point A and you sort of get stuck in the middle here. This is where mess can happen. And I talk about this in my Manifest Love free course that you can get access to at empoweredlifeprograms.com/manifest. When you're in that muck in the middle, things can get messy, and that's okay. You just got to push through that, okay? Because as soon as what often happens is people get to the mess and they go, oh, I'm on the wrong path, and they go back to point A. But the point is, we really want you to get to point B, which is the ultimate relationship. So it's really about making sure that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all in alignment with point B as much as possible. It's, you're not a miracle worker, and neither am I. So it's not like you can just go from A to B immediately. You've really got to practice and train your brain to think differently, to feel differently, and to make yourself do differently as well. So I will leave you with that. But, there's a whole lot more to it. And there's a whole lot of additional tools that you can pick up along the way to help you with that. And that includes working with someone like myself who can actually go in to say your Akashic records, for example, and find out exactly why you're in this situation, what old patterns, probably from past lives, are being perpetuated in this life that we can clear away and start getting you to take new actions that step you out of those old patterns. So I will leave you with that, but head over to empoweredlifeprograms.com/manifest to get access to the free course, because that will be your foundational information and element of this process of change and transformation, because it's really about, I want you to have what I have, which is a loving and amazing relationship with a man I know adores me, and I adore him too. So I'll leave you there. See you next time.